Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to an SP Patrons video that I'm making today for Chen Yida as part of their custom monthly music review. And if we switch over to here, we have ourselves a track on the screen from an act named Metal Kids or Zhang Yuxing. This is the Heaven on Fire edit. Now I've got a little note to read through before we get into this. Last time I said that Zhang Yuxing's English pronunciation was good, so I found out Zhang Yuxing's entry song. This video is a fan edit of the news clip with the audio track of the song. So this is their first kind of breaking moment, which is kind of cool to check out. This is because the record company compiled and released all the winning songs into one album. Apparently this song won the Best Pop Song Award at the first Hot Music National Pop Music Competition organized by Yamaha, which is dope, and considering this is Zhang Yuxing we're talking about, I'm not surprised. Now it says here, before we get into the track, written by Sun Huangdong. Now I don't know, I'm gonna go with that being the case. The Sun Huangdong part, right, is from Deep L. So if it's mispronounced or mistranslated that name, let me know, it's not my fault. But look, we're gonna get into this track from start till finish. I'm gonna hear what we think. Should also know that Chen Yida has kindly provided translations for the lyrics here, so I can check them out too when we get to that point. But let's get into it. Let's go, man. Always keen to listen to some more Zhang Yuxing. The church organs are phenomenal, dude. What a way to start things off, eh? It's intricate off the bat. The kind of the gumption to start like this is wonderful. Yep, great groove to the bass and drums as well. It sounds like power metal from the 80s and I adore it. I adore it. It's been a while since I listened to music like these. I think the use of the organ with the guitars, bass and drums is really fresh. And I think they should bring that style back, if I'm totally honest. He's very young here. Great natural vibrato going to this chorus section here. Lots of range to the composition. Changing groove. Okay, bring it down a little bit. Nice. Smart move. Solo section. I mean, say what you will, they can shred. It was a phenomenal solo that suited the genre really well. It was intensely quick. There was absolutely no filler though at the same time. It was nice and short and succinct and to the point. And then they just bounce. You know, you can't get better than that. Excellent. I was wondering if he was going to reach up there in this part because he kind of was a bit more conservative with the previous build. such phenomenal understanding of the fundamentals of music theory and composition, as well as like songwriting, melody building, etc. Dynamic range. It's just, there's a lot to appreciate here. No wonder this one. Excellent. What a track, man. I wasn't expecting to go back into our last verse. I think that while I enjoy the way the song's written, it seems like we're kind of having to lengthen the track of the song here. Never mind, there's more context. Cool, great. Thoroughly justified, I understand it now. Oh, buddy. An absolute pleasure as always, Mr. Zhang Yuxing. And Metal Kids. Heaven on Fire by Metal Kids. Holy crap, what a song. What a tune. Thank you, Chen Yida. I love this kind of music, dude. So in terms of lyrics, we've got walking on lonely streets in a darkened night, midnight sun rolling down my eye, living in a forest full of broken dreams, and life's a big hand strangling me till I die. Like, this is heavy shit, man. These are heavy lyrics. But your giving hand rising up to my heart don't keep the fire burning, my love. Damn. Shining like an angel flying. That's a hard melody to like melodically rap. For him to nail those notes like he does is sensational, dude. I am so stoked with this performance here. Like, honestly, no complaints. Sharing pretty nights, hold me till I die, falling in love is so sweet. Flying like the dust, what kind of fool am I, burning love? Okay, alright, I think I get it. Alright, I think I get it. Let me have a go at this. And welcome to the conclusion of my review of this track by Metal Kids with Zhang Yuxing. The song is called Heaven on Fire. Apologies, I've got one hand down here with Nushka because I've got Nushka on my knee today. Apparently that's just a thing that's happened now. I've been trying to get Nushka to not sit on my knee during reviews, but we're doing that, so that's fine. Basically, I think this song is about Zhang Yuxing talking about his life full of fallen dreams, and I think he's struggling with existing. And then what happens is he finds this person that he's in love with, and then he realizes that love is actually burning him alive. So like, it's too intense for him to be able to cope with. I think that's basically what this track is about. It being worth it because it's so intoxicating, but at the same time it's doing him damage. And it's almost like a nihilistic situation where it's like, which of the evils would you prefer? You know, the one where you're alone or the one where you're burnt to a crisp, like the dust flying through the air, you know? So, I mean, I think it's a really cool thing to write a song about. Again, I think it's great storytelling, and I think that Zhang Yuxing's vocals here are stunning. For this to be the entrance, I'm not surprised by it. I was blown away by it, but not as much because I think I've heard his later stuff. You know, when you hear Zhang Yuxing's tippy-toppy stuff, it's never the same looking as someone's interest in going, because you know how much they've grown. You know, it's a similar sort of situation I was in with Dimash yesterday when I was reviewing his stuff. I've heard his later stuff. Hearing his entrance was good though, don't get me wrong. It just like, I've heard a lot of different versions of stuff. And that includes Zhang Yuxing too, but great vocal performance, phenomenal hidden chest voice control. Really fascinating, charismatic to listen to as well. Lots of variation with the melodies there. And he basically had the crowd on a tenterhook, man. It was wild. You really want to hear more of the story. And his pronunciation of English is fantastic. I'm really glad with how the words came out. It's not like perfect, but like if it's not your first language, that's absolutely fine. No shame. You know what I mean? Like, it's a great effort. I could get most of the words through clearly, but I am glad to Chen Yida for writing lyrics because it allows me to read through it a bit more better, you know? But I think that in general, this track is indicative of his quality from like his starting point. But I think it's also fair to not just talk about Yang Yuxing, but the rest of the people in the band, because if we go to the actual song itself, beyond the phenomenal vocal performance and the storytelling, I think that the guitarists, the drums, the bassists, the organ players, the keyboards, everyone smashed it out of the park. I'm stoked with it. I think there's an immense amount of talent within this act. I'm wondering what happened to the rest of the musicians who are playing alongside Yang Yuxing here. Like the guitar was working between like power chords and the sort of shred, tippy-tappy solos, etc. You know, contrasting that with the bass player with a great groove, they're kind of like picking up that pace and keeping in time with the drums. The drums were like phenomenal, dude. Lots of range with them, from the fills to like the 8th and 16th note grooves there. Just the speed there. Seems some like fun little there's like a different personality per section as well, from the combination of the various instrumentalists keeping things together and respecting each other. And that's not to talk about the organs, because the organs were like the church organs, almost like a spiritual experience there at the start, coming in and not only just having the intro nailed, but also providing a nice mid-range foil to everything else in there instrumentally. It's fantastic. You know, I really enjoy reviewing music like this. It's an absolute pleasure, because it's inspiring to listen to tracks like this. You hear someone sing and play like this. This is one of the tightest bands I've heard, and no wonder they won that competition, right? I think that it was a great contrast between the chorus, like dun 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 dun, like the more staccato parts there with the legato sections and the rest of the track. There was great changes in the perceived loudness of parts there, like various energy levels shifting between the various sections there, seamless transitions between the various parts of the track. Lots of range there instrumentally with different parts playing different things, and the overall theme itself throughout was one of hope, but also of tribulation. Like there was a trial going on, the trial of love. Will you be incinerated by the passion, or will you be able to make it out? Is it better to have been involved? There were answers that, questions that were asked by the music that were fascinating to listen through, and ultimately I just think that I don't think they needed to add more to this, but I will make a couple of things that I was like unsure about. One, there were like moments going into like the verses again, like in like the second verse after that big chorus. It just seemed like things went down a little bit too far going into that verse, as if the verse was sort of inconsequential instrumentally in comparison to the chorus. I think it's just the chorus was too hype. It just felt a little bit awkward actually when I think about the transitions going back into the verse. So maybe not all the transitions were seamless, but a lot of them. And I think as well that last section there, I think we could have been doing less with the instruments in that last part of the track to go into the big finish. I think we could have potentially had the guitars just kind of stop for a minute and like just have like more of a kind of like mid-late-ish kind of feel there. And just have the guitars come back in later on to have the big kind of boof sound, you know. But everything else was stunning, and I think that it was a great combination of the story, the vocals, and the accompaniment behind it. The 4 minutes was used incredibly well, and no complaints. I mean, like having that organ solo at the start for like the first 30 seconds makes this basically a 3.5-minute song, right? It's dope. It's really cool. And just before I go, the studio recording, mixing, and mastering, etc., the production was fantastic. I liked the sound of it. The vocals had a great sort of like reverb to them as well, like an airiness in addition to the filtering and EQing that makes them so present in the mix. The guitars, bass, and drums were nicely notched and EQ'd as well into the frequency spectrum. Guitars double tracked nicely into the stereo field, and I think that the bass was nice and tight in the low end, and the drums were punchy as well. It sounded like it could have been a live take. It was very 80s metal there, with like kind of gated snares and stuff like that. Kind of misty elements there, the shred style, the fizzy guitars, etc. But I think it suited the mood and the aesthetic for that genre. And again, the organ's nicely notched to kind of fill up that mid-range there, and very kind of ethereal and almost spooky sounding, as if we're having a supernatural experience within this track. I think ultimately the leveling of the tracks was great, no complaints there, things were well balanced. And in addition to that, basically we just had a wonderful situation here with the loudness overall. It was nice and loud without pumping. And basically this is my review of a track from Metal Kids titled Heaven on Fire. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show some love via their various social medias and the YouTube page, and stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as either help more than ever thought of crazy stuff going on in the world, and I'll catch you in the next SP Patrons video. Spiderhands out.